Hiya guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we have an absolute beauty for you. We are making red velvet cupcakes just in time for Valentine's Day, feeling all festive and lovey-dovey and all that good stuff. So yeah, so we're gonna make some red velvet cupcakes decorated really quirkily. Quirkily, is that really a word? Super colourful, glittery, sprinkles, chaos, love it. So that's what we're doing, that is the vibe, that is the brief for today. So, red velvet cupcakes. We have our oven preheating at 175 degrees C. If you can hear the fan, apologies, but the oven is preheating. Now we can make the mixture. So as always, all of the quantities of the ingredients will be in the description box below, so check those out if you are looking for those. First up, we are going to make our little cupcake recipe. So we're going to add our caster sugar into our bowl. Then we are going to sift our dry ingredients together. So we have some flour and some salt that is going to go in our bowl through the sift. Sift. We sift it, but it's through the sieve. There we go. Then we're going to add our cocoa powder as well. And then we sift that so that we can get rid of any flour bubbles or you know, like the bigger crumbs in the cocoa powder. There's always some in the cocoa powder. So that's those. Then we're going to pop this aside and we're going to grab out our wet ingredients. So we have vanilla, red food dye. Now I'm using the Chef Master Super Red. I always use the Chef Master. I just think it works amazingly. It's super rich in colour, but also like concentrated, so you don't need much. So I always use that. Then I have some buttermilk, some melted cooled down butter, and some water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, now you need about 5 grams of red food dye, but I have done this recipe so many times that I'm just going to eyeball it. But if you don't have the food gel, like the food colouring gel, you can just use the liquid that you can buy from the supermarket. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can use it. You just need probably about a tablespoon of it to actually get it to the colour that you need. So we're going to put in 5 grams of our food colouring, like so. Then we're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, as always, I measure my vanilla with the heart, because you can kind of never have too much of this good stuff. Then we're going to add in our melted butter. So please make sure that your butter is cooled down. I will grab my spatula just to make sure that I can get all of that good butter in there, because this is where the good stuff happens. Alright, then I'm going to add my buttermilk as well. So you're essentially going to mix all of the wet ingredients together and all of the dry ingredients together, except your baking soda and your white vinegar. You're going to leave those until the very last minute, because we don't need those until the very last minute, as I just said. Alright, so our wet ingredients are all together. I'm going to clean the decks and I'll be back. Okay, so now we have our dry ingredients, our wet ingredients, plus our baking soda, and our white vinegar. Now, as I said at the beginning of this recipe is honestly so easy. You don't need a beater, you don't need a KitchenAid, you literally just need a bowl and a whisk. So, we're now going to add our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients, like so, and mix that with a whisk until it has kind of all come together. You don't want to over mix this, because obviously you don't want to build any gluten in this recipe, but you just want to get it so that all of the lumps have come out of the batter and it's lovely and smooth in consistency, which shouldn't take too long, just a little bit of arm power. like so. And that's pretty good. All right, now that that has come together, it is our final stage, and we're going to add our baking powder and our white vinegar. Cannot get my words out today. Now this is essentially what makes the red velvet cake super light and fluffy and aerated, and almost have sort of like a tangy aftertaste to it. It is honestly one of the most delicious cakes. I highly recommend it. Don't let that description turn you off. So we're going to add in our baking soda, and we're going to add in our vinegar, and that's going to basically fizz away and react, which is exactly what we want it to do. We want it to get all nice and frothy and foamy. And then we're going to mix that into our mixture so that that is fully incorporated. All right, so now it is time to get ready to bake our cupcakes and pour our batter in. So I've got a regular jug here that I'm just going to pour my batter into. Because the batter is a bit more on the runnier side, I just have opted to pour it into a jug just for ease of mess and convenience for me, but by all means you can just use a scoop or a couple of spoons if you want to, whatever works best for you. So I have my lovely batter here and my 12 cupcake tray with already lined little cupcake cases. Now I'm going to fill these cupcakes up about halfway, and probably no more because we don't want it to overflow. We filled our lovely batter into our cupcake cases. Now we're going to pop them into the oven for roughly around 18 to 22 minutes. We want to have a nice spring on the top. We obviously want them to be fully cooked and kind of bounce back a little bit. So we shall see you once they're baked. All right guys, we are ready to decorate our lovely cupcakes. They are cooled and have been chilling on the side for a little bit now. We also have some red cream cheese icing. So I have made cream cheese icing many a times on this channel, so I will link a video to the instructions on how to make that. But I have made the cream cheese icing, and then I have coloured it red with the same red I used for our red velvet cupcakes. And then alongside that I have some red and pink sprinkles that I have got from my local cake decorating store, and then I'm just going to sprinkle them around the outside. I have also been busy behind the scenes making some little red fondant hearts that I have just made out of red fondant with a cookie cutter, and then I've covered them in red glitter. And then, just because I want to make these cupcakes extra special, I also have some red edible glitter from a brand called Barco, and a nice little paintbrush as well that I'm going to sprinkle some lovely glitter onto the ends of these cupcakes. All right, so I am planning on creating nice big old blobs on the top of each of my cupcakes. So I will do that now, but obviously by all means decorate them how you would like to decorate them. But what I'm going to do for my blob is essentially apply a nice good amount of pressure to the top, and then just kind of give it a nice whippy swirl at the top there, just to come off of the pressure of the top of the icing with the cupcake. So I'll do that again, hover about 1 centimetre above, a nice amount of firm pressure, and swirl a nice Mr. Whippy swirl on the top. Alright, so now all of our beautiful cupcakes are iced and gorgeous, as always. We are going to dip the sides of the cupcake, just the collars, into the sprinkles, because we want to add a little bit more extra pizzazz. So I'm just going to very carefully hold my cupcake. I'm going to tilt it, but not tilt it so that it's completely horizontal, because the icing will end up in the sprinkles. But also to compensate that, I'm going to have the bowl and the sprinkles on an angle as well. So I'm just going to very, very carefully tilt it round the sides. If at any point you feel like you've kind of not got control of the cupcake, just put the bowl down, come back up and recenter. And then we're just going to do the exact same. So all of this other side is coated in the sprinkles. Because it is a cream cheese icing on this cupcake, it is a lot more, I would say, unstable than a buttercream. So if at any point you feel that it's too much, you obviously don't need to add the sprinkles, but it just adds a lovely little extra element to the cupcake. So then once we've done our sprinkles, we can then add our lovely fondant heart that we've got here. I'm just going to pop that in on the top, like so. And then obviously, because I love just to go a little bit extra, I'm just going to grab my little paintbrush and dip it ever so slightly in the glitter and just kind of tap the brush on the top above the cupcake so all the glitter falls onto the cupcake. And then there you have it, guys. You have our beautiful little red velvet cupcake. It's just so cute. So anyway, I'm going to do all of these and then we can taste them. We have our delicious red velvet Valentine's cupcakes. Now, I am so bloody chuffed with these and how they came out. They are super, super moist. I already know. I can smell. They smell delicious. So I am very excited to eat one of these. I will have one of these with my cup of tea later on tonight. But that is all for today's recipe video, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. And obviously, of course, if you make these at home for yourself, for your partner, for your friends, whoever, please tag me. I'd love to see your creations as always. But for now, I shall see you in next week's video. All right, guys, have a lovely day and we shall see you then. Bye.